tombstone that's now become very famous. I don't think anybody knows who's there. I think it's an old, hundreds of years old tombstone, and it reads this: "Be who you is, because if you is who you ain't who you is." You see, if you buy a Picasso, there's something that comes with it that guarantees its value. With it, it's priceless. Without it, it's almost worthless. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? The papers of authenticity. Authenticity determines the value of everything, whether it's art or a life. If I have a Picasso in one hand and an exact copy that somebody else made on the other hand, why does it matter? I mean, who cares, right? Why does it matter? If it looks exactly the same, you could never tell the difference on the naked eye with the naked eye, then why does it matter? So I want you to really just think about it. Would you please just close your eyes for a second? I'm going to ask the question again. If I have a Picasso on my left hand, an original, or a copy that somebody else made that looks exactly the same, why is one priceless and the other one relatively worthless? Why does it really matter? Open your eyes. On the surface, it doesn't matter. On the surface, it doesn't. But you know what? We're not surface dwellers. We are beings of soul. And one has soul, and the other one doesn't. One is real, it's original. The other is a fake, it's an imitation. One was touched by the master's hand, by the one who discovered that brushstroke and created those color schemes and discovered that use of shadow and changed art as we know it. The other just copied it. It has no soul. It means everything. It means everything. And our soul is yearning to express, like any artist, upon the palette of our life and create our own individual expression. The one who created the copy did no soul searching whatsoever. It just copied. The whole point of an artist is to ask yourself, what is it in my soul that I am here to express and put out into the world that makes me unique? That's the whole point. And we are all artists, every one of us. Our life is our artwork. The ancient Hindu text, the Bhagavad Gita, says this: "It is better to live your own destiny imperfectly than to live an imitation of somebody else's with perfection." And so Elizabeth Gilbert says in her book at one point, she says this: "So now I have started living my own life. Imperfect and clumsy as it may look, at least it resembles me now, thoroughly." Now, the paradox in that statement to me is this: as soon as we start resembling ourselves completely, it is perfect. Now you got soul, you see? Now you got depth. Now you're shining your light upon your individual expression of yourself upon this world. Even if it looks clumsy on the outside, there is perfection. But what we all need to understand and know and get today, if there's some way I could just get this. Well, bam! If I could just do it, I would do it. Bam! This is it. I'm going to find some way. Okay. If there is some way I could just get it, I would do just about anything. Keep trying. Here's what it is. I think some people got it already. Deep breath. It's a very serious poem, too. I mean, that's... What I would love for everybody to understand today and really get is this, that you are an authentic, original masterpiece. You are. And your eye color, and your thumbprint, and your hair, and your skin, and your laugh, and your smile, and your tears, and your expression, and your take on things is your papers of authenticity. Your expression. Is that you? I cannot believe this. Where is it, Paul? Oh my gosh! So, yes! Laughter is medicine. Let it be felt and healed and moved. And laughter, you know. What I love about that statement is what I said was, your laughter is different than anyone else's on the planet, and you are to laugh at it. In your tears, in your smile, you are a unique individual expression. We are a masterpiece. And this unique masterpiece is yearning to express its masterpiece upon the palette of our life. And as we do, we experience and find masterpiece. Yes. You see, no one can show us our authentic journey. It is ours to find. We can be influenced by others and be inspired by others. But only we can find our authentic journey. And it is in finding that authentic journey, that authentic self, that we begin to experience the depth of a Picasso. And it's how we begin to experience the depth of love. Because the more real we become, the more authentically we can be loved. And authentically be loved, you see? The more authentically real we become. Otherwise, we're being loved for something that isn't authentically us, so it's not real love. You see? And the more authentic we become, then we can authentically be loved. And I want you to understand something. Your authentic self will be loved, and it will be poured upon you in ways you can never imagine. There's nothing to be ashamed of or afraid of. All the world loves authenticity. We're all waiting for it. We're yearning for it. It is so valued. It's the most valuable thing. You know those times when you get a new shirt or a new hat or something, and you look in the mirror and you go, hey. Arthur Fonzarelli, right? Now that dude was authentic. Nobody else was the Fonz. And he would look in the mirror and just go, hey. But you know those times when you get something, you look in the mirror? That one got hurt. Those times when you look in the mirror and you see it, and what that is, oh, it's me. You know, it's me. And then your best friend sees you wearing it and they go, it's you. It's so you. That's the life we are here to create, so that everything in our life is a reflection of our being to the degree to which everything truly yells and celebrates us. So that we can look in the mirror of our soul, and our soul pops out and goes, hey, congratulations to meet you. I used to wear a shirt and tie to pretty much everything that I ever did. And then one day my wife came home with a shirt like this one. And she said, it was you. She said, I thought it was you. I just saw it and I thought you'd like it. I was like, I put it on. I looked in the mirror. Hey. It's me. Can I really do this? Is this legal? Can I do this? And the answer is, yes, I can. And listen to this. Now here's the deal. Once you start being more authentic, the shirts keep coming now. Because this is the law of attraction. The more authentic you become, the universe says, it's you. I can't keep the shirts from coming into my closet. They're just marching in there. And because people just give them to me. I swear to you. Everywhere, friends, they just come up and go, Barry, I saw this shirt. I thought of you. Thank you. I can't keep it. It's like they just come in. I go home sometimes and the shirts just, And I love every one of them. I love them. I put them on and I'm just, hey. Nobody was buying me button-down long-sleeve shirts. Nobody. Authenticity is its own reward. You become a magnet for that which is yours to have and yours to give. It's yours to flow. And now my shirts are just, I'm going to open a whole store with all the shirts that I got. This life is a process of creating a life that feels as good as this shirt feels on me. And we are the tailor of our life, the pennicar of our life. Congratulations to me too. And it's up to us to find out what brings us joy and happiness and peace. It's up to us to find out what it is ours to share. Because we are the tailor of our life, and we are to become our own prince and our own princess and rescue ourselves. Sextus, the ancient Pythagorean philosopher, said this: the wise man is always similar to himself. The wise man is similar to himself. There it is. The more similar we become to ourselves, the more our very being just goes, ah. Do that with me. Ah, no more games, no more lies. Ah, it feels so good. You see, the degree to which we are not similar to ourselves is the degree to which we're sort of living a lie. And it gets exhausting. It's like telling a lie and having to cover it up everywhere you go and remember who you said to what. Live the truth. Follow your heart, follow your soul, be real. Live and be a shining example of the truth. And it's not always easy, because waking up is hard to do. Remember the Neil Sedaka song? Waking up is hard to do. They say that waking up is hard to do. Down, doo-doo, down, down. Down, doo-doo, down, doo-doo, down, down. But it always pays for itself in the end. It always pays for itself. And waking up to our authentic self is a process. It's a journey. As it says in this great little book called Passport to the Soul, A Lifelong Journey, Wendell Berry says this: the life we want is not merely the one we have chosen and made. It is the one we must be choosing and making. You know, as a speaker, a lot of times you read something powerful like that and you want to slam the book. Choosing and make. It's not big enough. I'll slam a different book. No, it's a good book. I think what we all need at different times in our life is a bathroom floor conversion. Elizabeth Gilbert spent 6 months on the floor, bawling her eyes out, going, what on earth is wrong with me? How come I'm not happy? I have all the things everyone says I should have. I have a big house, I have this job, I drive this car, and I have this spouse, and we're going to have children. I should be ecstatic. How come I'm not ecstatic? Because she followed somebody else's footprints to somebody else's house, and somebody else's spouse, and somebody else's life. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with the life she was living. It just wasn't hers to be living. Therefore, she was living a lie. And there's a point where she couldn't breathe anymore. Until she woke up one day. And you could say that it would have been easier for her to just, in some ways, it would have been easier for her to just go, you know what? I'm an idiot. I'm just going to go and live this life. In some ways, that would have been a lot easier. But instead, she took the road less traveled. And as Thoreau said, it has made all the difference in the world. In fact, she made her own road. She followed her own footprints. So I encourage breakdowns. If you feel one coming on, let it come on. Have it. The sooner the better. A breakdown is the chrysalis time to become the butterfly. Something bigger is trying to happen in your life. Have it out. Let it out. The sooner the better. It doesn't have to be as messy the sooner you do it. But have it. Let it come. In the immortal words of Tom Petty, break down. Go ahead. Give it to me. Break down. Take me through the night. Break down. It's gonna be all right. And the commitment to our authentic self doesn't mean there's going to be a breakdown, although there almost always is at least once, if not several times. But if we are living close to our heart and to our soul right now, then all it means is going deeper right where you are. Go deeper in your house with your spouse, in your clothes with your soul. If we can pay attention along the way, we can be the artist along the way. We don't have to experience a breakdown. We can have little tiny moments of creating our own life. A powerful question to ask ourselves is, what would cause a breakdown 10 years from now if I didn't make a little change today? And do it now instead of wait for the rush. You know why? Because it's easy to become a frog in boiling water. You know what I'm talking about? You put a frog in tepid water, the frog just sits there and goes, hey, this is nice. And then you turn on the heat a little bit, and then the frog just kind of goes, it's a little warm, but it's okay. And then you turn it up more and it gets boiling, and pretty soon you got a boiled frog. We do the same thing in our lives. Our life, if we may be close to our heart and soul now, but then we may change, or our surroundings may change, but it's slow, and it's a slow process. We just say, oh, no, I'm okay, it's okay. And then the heat gets turned up a little more. We don't notice it, and you have boiled human. Or you have a breakdown. And so the process is staying close enough, conscious enough, aware enough to tell the truth, tell the truth, tell the truth all along the way, and be willing to speak up and speak from your heart and speak from your soul during the journey, because it is the privilege of a lifetime to be who you are. Over the 4th of July, this last 4th of July, my family and I went to Lincoln City, to Taft, for the 4th of July celebration. And if you've ever been to the beach, it's complete pandemonium. It is mass hysteria over the 4th of July. And I drove the minivan, I drove them down to the beach and dropped them off at the beach, and they went to the beach, and I had to go park. You know, sometimes we say, I had to park a mile away. I had to park a mile away. Literally. Cars and people, it was just jam-packed, a mile away. And then when I parked the car, I came back to the beach, and I got on the beach, and there were bonfires everywhere. I mean, every 20 feet, whoosh, and children. Like the Lord of the Flies with their fireworks, just, ah! And I got on the beach, and I'm looking around if I can't find my wife, so I get on my cell phone, and even with cell phones, we could not locate each other. And where are you? She's out by the bonfire. What? There's a bonfire every 20 feet by the hotel, by the bonfire. What hotel? Which one? And I'm dodging the Lord of the Flies, and the fires are everywhere. Finally, I find them, and my wife and I kind of got on the blankets, and we spent half the time kind of hiding under the blankets because it was so smoky. There were bonfires everywhere, and the Lord of the Flies, and the fireworks, and the fire. But it was a cool fireworks display. And then after it was over, I had to go get the van, so I go get the van, and I'm driving through gridlock, and people everywhere, and I finally get back to the beach. And when I got there, a couple cars had left, so I was able to park on the beach. Now, we had a box that we bought at Costco, big old box of fireworks, and we decided to light them off. So we went out to the beach, and we lit off all of our entire box, and then we, gathered all the empty shells. And more, because, you want to leave a place better than you left it, and then you found it, leave a place better than you found it. So we gathered all these empty shells, put it in this Costco box that we had, just piled high with these empty shells. And as I'm going back to put it in the back of the van, I'm carrying it, and my wife says to me, honey, make sure they're all out before you put them in the back of the van. And I say, yes, dear. Duh. You think I am? Complete stupid. So, I put him in the back of the van, we get in the van, we start driving, and we're going bumper to bumper. It's going, no traffic, couple feet. And there's people lighting off fireworks, and my wife says, she says, it's smoky in here. Where's that smoke coming from? And I said, it's from outside. It's getting in. So we rolled up the windows. And it's getting more smoky. And she says, are you sure those fireworks are out? Yes, dear. I checked it. They're out. I think it just got in. Let's roll down the window. So we rolled down the window. And we were moving, just inching along. Just people are everywhere, inching along. And there's still smoke. It's smoky. And when she's asked again, are you sure the fireworks? Yes, dear. Just come on. Now, it was the frog in boiling water. It's hard to explain what happened next, but we finally merged onto the main road where we were going a full 7 miles an hour, and we must have looked like Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. Driving, smoke coming out of the windows. But it was the frog in boiling water. But if somebody from the outside had gotten into our van, they would have said, what? You guys, something's burning in here. What are you doing? You must be insane. But it was, and I was just like, I don't know where it's coming from. I think it's coming from outside. You see, we get going down the freeway of our life, and the van is on fire. We don't want to see it, because it's coming up slow, and our friends say, what in the world are you doing in that relationship? It's ridiculous. What relationship? It's fine. Look at you. You hate your job. It's killing you. No, I don't know what you're talking about. The van is not on fire. You see what I mean? So we're going down the freeway. We're down the road now. We're going like 5 miles an hour. And Heather goes, Barry, honey, when she calls me Barry, it's not good. I've only heard it like 5 times in our 10 years or 11 years together. So we're driving out, and she goes, honey, we need to pull over and make sure that those fireworks are out, because I think it's coming from back there. And I said, honey, there's no way I'm getting off the... It took 20 minutes to get on this freeway. Nobody's letting anybody in. I'm not losing my place in life. Guys, you know what I mean, right? I'm not losing my place. Nobody's, and it's not coming from back there. What are you talking about? So we're going along, and where's the smoke coming? I don't know. So we finally get to this exit, and I'm able to go pretty fast. So I go fast as I can, get to our destination. We get out of the van, and we open the trunk, and it's as if we're sending smoke signals to the next county. And where there's smoke, there's fire. And we looked at the thing, and these things have become burning coals, hot coals burning. We're, ah! So we get out of the van, and we're throwing water on them and stomping on them, and my wife, let's just say I knew I was in hot water. She was not happy with her bear. Because, you know, I'm not getting off the freeway. I'm not going to lose my place. She was not happy. But then she got a deep breath, and a lot of credit goes to her. She got, after about 20 minutes, she walks up to me and she says, honey, the next time we think there's even the slightest possibility that the van's on fire, can we pull over? And I said, yes, dear. I said, that's a good policy. And I said, we will implement that starting now. And what I'm saying to all of us today is, the next time you think there's any possibility that the van's on fire, that you're out of touch with your authentic being, with your soul, with your heart, the slightest chance, pull over, realign, reassess, investigate, break down, break through, do what you need to do. Don't get out of touch with your authentic self, out of touch with your heart and out of your soul. And then get back on the trail, and then follow your own footprints. And then make your own journey. You see, part of the reason why I didn't want to look, part of the reason why is because I was in charge of making sure that they were out, and I had seen it with my own eyes, but part of the authentic journey is to trust beyond. This stuff tells lies. Our physical senses don't give us our heart and soul is asking us to follow our heart and soul. And the other part of it is our ego gets involved. Because if I had pulled over and said, well, let's check, that would have meant that I screwed up. But part of the authentic journey is being willing to say, I screwed up. And I take full responsibility. I screwed up. This isn't my life. And now I'm going to start over. Now, if we can become conscious enough, we can be the artist along the way of our masterpiece of a life. And we can create, and we don't have to have a breakdown. We can step into our joy. On the other hand, if there ever comes a time in your life where you feel like, oh my God, the band's on fire. My prayer today is that each of us can trust that. We'll trust our heart and trust our soul to pull off and realign and reassess and recreate your life. Because you know what? The fire is coming from inside. It's the fire of your soul. And it must be heard. It must be tended to, because you are an original, authentic masterpiece. And that masterpiece that is you is yearning to express its masterpiece on this life. And as you do, you find a masterpiece.